Hello again. I wanted to talk to you today about making the most of things with your person with dementia. A lot of people talk about mindfulness, and that is a very useful tool to have in your repertoire. So we try to focus in the dementia healthcare field. We try to focus on what the person with dementia can do, not focusing on what they no longer can do. So we have a much more of a positive approach to looking after somebody with dementia than possibly we did in the olden days. So focusing on what they can do is really important. So let's take a very simple example. Let's say laying the table. Let's say you're the carer, the wife is the carer, and the husband has dementia. So perhaps your husband would normally help out around the house, do the washing up, lay the table for dinner, maybe hoover, dust, make the beds, change the sheets, trim the hedges, rake the leaves off the lawn. You know, the list is endless. But as dementia progresses, they may no longer be able to do all those things. But what we want is to ensure that they feel they can still play a part in their relationship with you and their usefulness around the home. We all like to feel needed, and people with dementia are no different. So we may need to help them a little bit more to do the things that they always used to do. So let's take a simple example. Let's say your husband always used to lay the table while you did the cooking. Okay, so perhaps as their dementia has progressed, they may struggle to remember which cupboard the plates are in. They may struggle to remember where the knives and forks drawers are. They may struggle to remember that you always have a glass of wine with dinner. How can anybody forget that? They may struggle to remember all sorts of things. So what we need to do is to break down that task of laying the table for them. So instead of saying, can you lay the table? You might want to say, there are the knives and forks, there are the plates, and there are the wine glasses. It would be lovely if you could lay the table for me. So you notice that none of that was a question. It was more of a statement, because questions are a bit like sitting in the mastermind chair for somebody on Mastermind on TV. So it takes them longer to process a question, longer to process an answer. So try to avoid asking questions and just say statements. And I think with a bit of practice, it will come more normally and more naturally to you, and they will respond in a more positive manner. So by breaking down that task of laying the table, you might want to sit them down at the table. The napkins would be there, the table mats would be there, and the knives and forks would be there, and the glasses would be there, and they can then lay the table. Now that in itself would be a brain exercise for them, and they may get it wrong slightly, but it doesn't matter. The fact is that you asked them for help, and they could still play a part in helping you. And that's really important. I'll talk about this at another time, but how you make your person with dementia feel is absolutely the takeaway key message I want these little bite-sized chats to leave you with. So how you make them feel is the aim of the game. Okay, we need to focus on that. I'll talk more about that in another tape. Thank you.